Hello and welcome to day 2 of trying to install a window. Things didn't go quite as planned yesterday. Sorry about not having an outro for the previous video. The battery died on this thing and left the charger at home, so I couldn't recharge the battery and continue filming. I was able to weld this piece in place and weld that piece in place. Figured I'd weld this in place since that 20 gauge material will not be strong enough to hold the window up. And I promised yesterday that I'd show you some welding, so we're going to do some welding today. Just a little bit. By no means am I an expert welder or anything. This is actually my 4th hour in welding, so I am not that good at it. Just try to ignore my brother singing in the background. Anyway, I'll set you up, I'll get set up, and we'll do a little bit of welding. The type of welding I'm doing is called flux core welding. It's a wire feed welder. So every time I pull the trigger, a little bit of wire comes out. You don't want a lot of wire sticking out. They say 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. Then we tack it. You can tack it if you want to. I'm just going to do the weld all in one shot. It is a small area to weld, so it shouldn't take that long. Gloves. Need gloves. There's one. Ran out of wire. I gotta change the wire spool and I'll be right back. Okay, let's try that again. Like I said, I'm an amateur welder. I'm not certain if this is right or not. Probably not. But that's what my weld looks like. Is that seriously out of focus? So if there's any welding experts out there, let me know if I did a good job or not. I probably didn't, but it's probably good enough for this kind of a build. It doesn't have to be a perfect weld, it has to just support the windows. Just support. Well, anyway, you know what I'm saying. I hope you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I'll try to get this sheet metal in place. I have to cut out a template for the sheet metal for the window. I'm going to use a piece of cardboard, cut out what I think would be a good size for the window, transfer that onto the sheet metal, then cut the sheet metal. I'll show you that process. Coming up next. I have my 48-inch window here. It's 48 inches wide by 22 inches high. I took the box that it came shipped in, and I'm laying the window on top of that. If I knew where my marker was. There it is. So now I'm just gonna outline the window. So, just a simple outline for now. Always make sure you're prepared before you start work, or you're going to end up confused and stammering and upset like I am. Okay, now that we have our outline, we'll just follow it. Then we can put it back over top of the window, see how it fits. Now to double check the fit. It's very, very close all the way around on this edge and this edge. Very good around here. Except for when I get to this area. So this is a very good fit. Nice and tight around all the edges. So when I go to transfer this onto the sheet metal, I'm going to make it nice and tight onto the sheet metal. When I go to cut it, I'm going to make it a 1/4 inch bigger. Just that this way it's not going to be so difficult to get the window into place. You don't want a very tight opening when you go to put a window in place. You want a little bit of place so you can fiddle around, fidget around, and get it just right. Anyway, my sheet metal is outside, but it is extremely windy out there right now. I'd love to take you along, but you wouldn't hear anything. I guess I could put music in the background. Background music. There you go. Okay, so I'll go outside, get this in place, tape it down so it doesn't blow away, and grab a few measurements so I know where I'm going to put this down. Then I'll bring you outside. guess you saw that butcher of a job on cutting the steel. Unfortunately, I don't have any extra pieces, so I'm going to have to use that somehow. But for now, I'm going to be putting a 1x2 on top of here because this is actually about 3/4 of an inch too big for my window opening. So by putting the 1x2 on here, it'll help with my drastic mistake. So I'll cut this to 1x2. I'll put it in place. I have some PL that I'm going to put on here, clamp it down, then shortly we'll install the steel. Well, I am going to get the drill, screw down some screws. I like being overcautious. I just got to find the drill and the screws. Okay, that's it for today's episode. I did end up changing that really bad butcher job of the 18 gauge steel for the new skin. I ended up measuring the window, figuring out exactly where it had to go onto the steel, marked it all, then cut it perfectly. From the inside, this is what it looks like. A couple things I did inside as well. I made the boxes for over top of the wheel wells. This one has plastic on it because eventually this plywood will come off and I'm going to be building a wall on here going all the way up. This is going to be where my shower is, and this is a closet. So I'm going to have a little wall right there. The wheel wells will be spray foamed. All the interior is going to get spray foamed as well. Let's go outside and I'll show you what the window looks like from the outside. Nothing is in place yet for the window, like it's not screwed in place is what I mean. It's just that, I hope you can hear me, it's really windy right now. I have to get a new window flashing because I had to cut this one for that lip. So I'm going to have to get a new window flashing to go over top of this. So nothing is screwed in place. We'll just see how that goes. My brother had some stuff. We'll try working with it within the next couple of days and see how it goes. So, as I said, that's it for today's episode. See you next time.